Yes, I'll do it, man. You know me, I love this. This is like one of my favorite parts of the show as well. All right. Let me just get the setup.
Yep, we ready to go.
All right. So listen, this is my take for 99 cents. Yes, it's not 1999 anymore, and I love to say that. But here's the thing. Steph Curry Part 2. Yes, it's another Steph Curry take for 99 cents. Actually, Steph Curry Part 2, Steph Curry is number 2. Steph Curry's the number 2 point guard. Greatest point guards of all times. I rank him at number 2. Magic Johnson being number 1. But let me tell you, I'm going to link these two players together. Because I truly believe, from an impact perspective, you can make the argument that Steph Curry and Magic Johnson is the most two impactful players in NBA history. Yes, I said it. Over Iverson, over Michael Jordan, over LeBron, over Kobe. The reason why is this. Because even with a Michael Jordan per se, right? He got his game from somewhere. Dr. J, you know what I mean? People from back to Elgin Baylor, Connie Hawkins. He morphed his game from that, right? Yes, you can say LeBron James got his game from Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan combined. Where the heck did Magic Johnson come from? Where the heck did Steph Curry come from? A 6'9" point guard, Magic Johnson running the floor? We never seen nothing like that. To the point, that's why we got positionless basketball today. This is why you got people that 6'9". This is why you got people that 6'10", shooting threes, handling the rock. It came from Magic Johnson. Steph Curry. Why we think the NBA is shooting threes from long range, although they probably shouldn't be. Steph Curry changed the game, not in a bad way, in a good way. Shooting threes, showing us what he can do with range. These two players changed the game and shaped the game today, whether you like it or not. You see these players at 6'9", 6'10"? I look at Magic Johnson. He came from that. That's what Magic Johnson came from. Handling the ball 6'9", we never seen it. His game didn't come from somebody else. I don't know who was Magic before Magic. Just like I don't know who was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. I could tell you who was Kobe before Kobe. I could tell you who was LeBron before LeBron. I could tell you who was Jordan before Jordan. But I cannot tell you who was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. He is one of one, and he changed and impacted the game. I can't tell you who was Magic Johnson before Magic Johnson. He had changed and impacted the game. And them two players combined is ranked 1 and 2 in my eyes as point guards, all-time greats, and I respect and love those players. And that's my take for 99 cents.
Yeah, it's a good take. I think when you have a player that just define logic at times, right? You look at Curry, you know, what he was able to do, obviously revolutionizing the game. Likewise with Magic Johnson. But you mentioned LeBron James and not seeing nobody before LeBron James. I don't think we've seen anybody after LeBron James to really compare to LeBron James. I think we get more Kobe clones than we do with Bron, because Bron is just different. You know, what he's able to do with his court vision at his size and how he could just run you over. And obviously he could shoot it as well. But in regards to Steph and Magic, right, to me, I think that Magic was the best overall passer out of the two, clearly. But I think Curry's underrated as a passer. You know, we look at those 3-point shots that he's able to jack up and make, but he doesn't get credit for his ability to make guys around him better. That's really underestimated. Like, he has to get more credit for that because of all the gravity that he pulls, allows guys to get open looks, you know, obviously. And I think Curry created Hall of Famers, if you ask me. He created Hall of Famers.
Without Steph Curry, man, like you say, created Hall of Famers. I mean, that whole dynasty in Golden State is based on Steph Curry. Like I told y'all before, and when Kevin Durant was there, you might just say he wasn't the best player, but clearly he was the most important player. Steph Curry is a leader. Steph Curry got a lot of attributes that's not just points and assists and rebounds. He can play selfless basketball. You know what I mean? He can say, hey, Kevin Durant, I can allow you to shine and still be very important to the team. That's selfless basketball. A lot of superstars can't do that. Steph Curry can do all of those things. And to me, he made Klay Thompson. He made Draymond Green. He made Steve Kerr, in my personal opinion. Steph Curry is that dude. Just like Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is a leader, a captain. These dudes got a lot of attributes to their game that's not just points, assists, and rebounds, man. They bring a lot more to the game, and that's why I look at both of them as one of one. You know what I mean? I really, really do. And no disrespect. When I said LeBron, like you said, we might not see LeBron James after LeBron James. I can look at Luka Doncic and say, not really LeBron James, but he's kind of a big, you know, point and got some vision or whatever. What I said from a LeBron James perspective was this. He took his game from Magic Johnson, per se, and Michael Jordan per se. With the athleticism, with the passing, that's kind of how I look at LeBron James.
Yeah, the passing he took from Magic, I get what you're saying. He took some things from both guys for sure. But I think it's very fascinating that a guy like you who grew up watching 90s basketball is able to give Curry credit in this new age of basketball, because so many times we see people from the 80s and the 90s, you know, living in a golden era of basketball, you would say, you know, tend to favor athletes more in that time. And obviously with great players that we do have now, we do have some great players now, they get overlooked by, you know, guys that are much older. Obviously, guys that are newer, obviously, all they know is these type of plays. All they know is LeBron, Curry, Kobe, whatever. So I think it's fascinating that you would put Curry in those high regards, comparing him to Magic Johnson.
He's right there, and he deserved it because, cousin, he changed the game. We look at the game differently. The game is coached differently because of Steph Curry.
I agree with that, 1,000%. All right, cousin, I'm gonna go with my take for 99 here. And yeah, the thing that we like to do is mention that it's not 1999 anymore, because guess what? That's the name of the show. And the reason why the show is called "It's Not 1999 Anymore" is because it's not. All right, that's why. All right, the world has changed, the game has changed, but for some organizations in the NFL, change is feared and ignored and frowned upon. Organizations like the Steelers, the Patriots continue to stick with what they know, and it's unfortunate. Okay, before the Chicago Bears hired Ben Johnson as a new head coach, they called the Steelers about trading potentially for Mike Tomlin. And to me, that was a win-win opportunity for both Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. The Steelers are indeed in football purgatory, and that's not going to change, folks, anytime soon under Mike Tomlin, okay? Andy Reid left, okay, the Eagles, because those Eagles, okay? Belichick left, all right? Both of these guys left organizations, and guess what? It worked greatly for both of them, okay? And I think Mike Tomlin may be slightly overrated, but I do agree that he has been avoided of a franchise quarterback since prime Big Ben. And he would have had a chance to coach Caleb Williams and build his own culture in Chicago. Yes, you heard it right. His own culture, not an inherited culture that he had to maintain and then create again. No, his own culture from scratch, because Chicago need a culture builder. Okay, the Steelers would have gotten a big haul to jumpstart a much needed, necessary rebuild. Okay, Sean Payton went for a first, a second, and a third in the trade. And I'm assuming that the most popular coach in the NFL that players want to play for could have went for similar compensation, if not more. And I would have accepted that deal, okay, in a heartbeat. And guess who I would have hired as my head coach if I was a Steelers? Brian Flores, okay? He coached on the team as a special teams coordinator. I would have hired him back. Problem solved for the head coach. But no, they didn't want to do that. The Patriots, who hired Mike Vrabel, to the least surprise of many, just hired Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator, a guy who hasn't had success outside of calling plays for the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady. For our owner and Robert Kraft, who fired Bill Belichick just a couple years ago and allegedly convinced Arthur Blank into backing out of giving him the Falcons job, he sure seems to want to live in the Belichick shadow, hiring guys that remind him of Bill Belichick, hiring Gerard Mayo last year, who played for Bill Belichick, hiring Mike Vrabel, who played for Bill Belichick, who came from his coaching tree, and now bringing back Josh McDaniels, who is from the Belichick coaching tree. So, Robert Kraft, are you turning the page from the Belichick era, or are you living in its shadow? Okay, again, folks. These latest moves from both the Patriots and the Steelers are more about stability than adaptability. And it goes against the name of this show. It's not 1999 anymore.
That's a great take. And I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes you need a change, cousin. When Andy Reid left Philadelphia, right? People in Philadelphia was upset, just to be clear. And I think Andy Reid was upset. He didn't want to leave. But leaving landed him in Kansas City and put him in a whole different stratosphere, to the point when he was in Philadelphia, the argument was, can he get over the hump? Now he's all-time great. You know what I mean?
What's the narrative with Mike Tomlin? Can he win a playoff game? He hasn't done so in the last 6 years. That could have been altered if he went to Chicago.
Yes. So I agree. Yeah, Mike Tomlin definitely should have. I think it is time for Mike Tomlin to leave, though. That's just my opinion. I actually think it is time for him to leave. Not that he's a bad coach or he's doing a bad job, but I think it's time for him to get a change of scenery. Like you said, Pittsburgh need to change the scenery, and I think it will work out both. It'll work out good for both. In my personal opinion, with the Philly, go back to Philly and Kansas City, get rid of Andy Reid. We want to win in the Super Bowl, and Kansas City got a dynasty. So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of 99 Pod. It was a good show. Obviously, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Massive Sunday in football. Championship Sunday is what we call it, to see who makes the Super Bowl. And obviously, we're going to be right back here on Tuesday afternoon to recap those games. So it was a good show.
Yes.
Always looking forward to the next.
Listen, man, and don't front on those Eagles, kid. All right? Don't front on the Eagles. I ain't just talking to you, cousin. Everybody out there, don't front on the Eagles, baby.
All right, we'll see about the Eagles. Okay, we're going to see if they're going to fly to the Super Bowl or if they're going to fly away to Cancun. One of the two is going to happen. We'll see what happens.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.